I also now all my camp memories are coming back. I always went to leadership camp, like ASB camp. Did you go to that?
Cata camp. I did do that.
Cata camp!
We went to the same camp. Sorry
Except
if that
like,
just hurt yours.
It was when I was
just like
27
15 years
and you were
apart.
in high school.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Overshare. I know it's just us. Hopefully you aren't too sad.
No, I think this is going to become a new habit. Every few episodes, it's going to be us oversharing, spilling all the details you never wanted.
We need our alone time.
We do. We need to catch up.
Yeah, that. But today's topic, we would kick off with our childhood sexual awakening crush cartoon situation. But if you've watched the show, we've already revealed ours. The topic that we want to overshare on is summer, because right now it's midway through July.
Yep.
Over midway through July. So summer's almost over. And now we're
going
going to talk
back
about
to school and we're finally talking about summer.
Well, and summer in general is something that, like, as an adult, it doesn't really have as much meaning because we don't get summers, really. It just gets hotter.
Exactly. My whole family, though, is in education, and they're always like, what are your summer plans? My sister will call me all the time because she's a teacher, and she's like, what are you up to today? I'm like, bitch, I'm working again.
I'm jealous, but also, like, they're not getting paid for 3 months of the year.
That's
so
true,
it's
but
like,
they also get like 9 weeks off, which is pretty bomb.
I would take the pay cut and find a hobby to
I told you we were going to be college professors.
So we wanted to reflect on our childhood summers, camps, and like going to the beach, because we both grew up in California. So what, did you go to camps?
Okay,
what
you
was
guys,
your summer plans as a kid?
I went to, now thinking back on it, I'm like, were my parents just trying to get rid of me?
That's usually why most kids go to camp.
I never went to a camp where you would go for the whole summer, but I would go to a lot of camps, like back to back.
Sleepover?
Always sleepover camp, and I was very independent. Were you not?
Oh no.
I was like, bye guys, see you in 6 months.
I was like worried my parents like weren't gonna pick me up from the not sleepover camp. I'm like, 5 hours? What do you mean?
So like, just to name a few of the camps I went to. First off, horse camp. We slept in covered wagons. We went to,
the same kind of horse camp that I went to.
It was not like an English equestrian situation. It was like, let's bring a bunch of kids to a farm that are from LA and have never seen a goat. I went to astronomy camp. Super freaking weird. Also super awesome. Went to cheer camp literally every single summer, which was awesome. I got the spirit stick.
Can you do a herky?
My favorite thing at cheer camp.
Spirit stick. Is there a spirit stick?
Girl.
Did that become a thing after Bring It On?
No. Bring It On stole it from the real cheer community.
Stop it.
Capture the spirit stick and drop it in front of the entire camp.
The person who drops it, however,
goes to Hades.
Do you know what my favorite thing at cheer camp is, though? All the girls being like, oh my gosh, this guy over there on that other squad is so hot. He totally likes me. And I just remember being like,
cheerleaders?
No, not at my school, for sure. Well, I mean, the females.
Oh, I don't think in the entirety of my high school career there was any guy cheerleaders, but also we didn't have, it was like a different team that did like competitive cheerleading.
Right.
And I feel like that's what guys were more into doing that because it was like the tumbling.
Yeah, it was like gymnastics.
P.S. This was so off topic, but did you see the video, the Instagram of Jonathan from Queer Eye?
His dancing? Or
No,
his
he does like a backflip and it's like he lands it, but it's like in a foam pit, but he lands it. The joy that comes off his face, just, it like got me through the day.
Honestly, following him on Instagram is probably one of my best choices of 2018
Agreed.
last year. He does ice skating. He met Michelle Kwan and cried. He wept. What about your camp experience?
Yeah, anyway,
as well?
back to the topic.
Also, I went to church camp, which was commonly the weirdest.
What does one do at church camp?
Well, I went to a church camp with a church called Missionary Baptist Church. Not the church I grew up at, but where it was children and adults. And I remember the adults would come around the campfire.
Like it's bad
and like
inappropriate.
we would have this campfire sharing time where you would like come around and like share things. And I was like 12. I thought it was gonna be like, I'm having fun. I like camp. I'm gonna climb a tree.
It was like sharing
and it was
dark
adults
things.
being like, I have a drinking problem.
I was just gonna say like, oh, I'm Joslyn and I'm
and
an
I was
alcoholic.
like, I remember coming home from camp and being like, so mom, a lot of grown-ups had a lot of problems at camp, and she had no idea what I was getting myself into, but it was still really fun. The craft corner was on point.
The only sleepaway camp I've ever done in 6th grade, at least I don't know if it's I think it was our entire school district. We had outdoor ed. It's an outdoor education camp. So it's like, I think we learned about like
animals and things like that, wildlife.
Plants, and like there's like a hike to the beach and like.
That's fun.
But it takes over a camp that's actually a camp for the blind. And I Googled it. It's called Camp Bloomfield. It's off Canaan or something, or off Topanga.
Malibu area.
Yeah, I was local. But I was like terrified to go, but then it ended up being super, super fun. But I feel like camp in general, regardless of what the camp is, always has like the same vibe.
Oh, 100%. You're just there.
And you have like your camp friends,
have
and
your
your like
friends,
bunk mates.
Or like your camp crush. Oh my gosh. I would always have a camp crush.
I'm trying to think if did you have like a crush on one of the counselors?
Ooh. Mr. Robert, where you at? He was my swim teacher when I was 4 years old, and I swear to you, I failed that swim class 7 times just so I could go back to him. And when I look at old photos, I was like, you know why? Because he was freaking hot.
So that was gonna be my follow-up. Is I've looked back at what my camp crushes were at the time, and I'm like, I get it. But like,
I wonder where they are now.
I'm always like, are they still hot? Usually not.
Well, I always wanted to have an experience at camp. Like, camp was so romantic. Like this movie called Camp Nowhere. Did you ever watch that?
I think I've seen it.
It was this camp movie with Andrew Keegan, who was the lead actor.
He was in Seventh Heaven.
But he has since gone on to start a cult, I'm pretty sure, in Venice. They all somehow got to go to camp without their parents or with any adults, and that was like always my dream.
But that's like kind of what camp, like there's like one adult, but then all the counselors aren't. So then all the counselors are usually like hooking up with I just always remember we thought it was like all the really cool kids doing the camp counselors, and that's like, we found out that was not the case.
Have you ever been a camp counselor?
Do you think anyone would trust me with their kids?
I would.
That's nice.
I bet the camp counselors were like boozing it up at night. And
100%. But I like would have been like really boozing it up.
Wait, did you ever have any camp relationships?
No, but our camp, so outdoor ed was the only sleepover one, but there was a square dance night, and it's in 6th grade, so that's like, no one had really like had boyfriends or anything yet, but that was, the boys had to ask a girl who they wanted to square dance with, and you couldn't say no.
Why couldn't you say no?
Because it was mean. No, it was like you weren't allowed to, because they worked up all the great example, middle school. It's like, well, the boys did all the work. You have to say yes. Mine, I don't remember even what his name was. It was not someone I was super excited about.
I also now all my camp memories are coming back. I went to leadership camp, like ASB camp. Did you go to that?
Cata camp. I did do that. Cata camp. We went to the same camp. Sorry,
except
like
it was when I was 27 and you were in high school. Cata camp. I don't even remember what it stands for.
I have the.
It's at UC Santa Barbara.
Yeah,
right? It was so fun.
Yeah, and I had the best time, and I actually have the VHS.
Because you would make a camp video.
Yeah. I'm literally.
It
was when I had short, spiky hair.
I think I learned all of my life skills at those camps.
Truly, leadership camps were the best because, like, leadership was like this vague, like, title for like have fun and hang out with your friends, and it was just like how to be a good person, basically.
And it was always like the cool thing about leadership camp was
how to not leave people out.
It wasn't like the popular kids from school. It was like. The people who are probably living their best lives right now.
People who are very productive.
Exactly. So I feel like all the people who went to those camps and maybe weren't like, oh, I'm prom king or whatever, are probably freaking successful and rich right now.
But also thinking back, like I'm very confused on like why did it? Because that wasn't high school for me. That was middle school. I don't know. That was a great time though. It's in Santa Barbara, so it was just gorgeous. And it was fun because you stayed in the dorms. So I felt like that like gave you a taste of like, oh, this is what college is going to be like. I loved the dining hall. They had an ice cream machine.
Soft serve for life. I also went to this thing called Girls State. Have you ever heard of that? It's where like in every state, one girl from every school is selected, and then you go to camp with all girls and you recreate the government.
Terrible.
And I was into like leadership and fun. I wasn't into like, in 25 years, I'll be running for president.
And was that what everyone else was?
What everyone there was like, I'm going to Princeton, I'm going to Harvard. I was like, I'm going to public school.
So you were the one girl from
my school that went. You go to California Girls State. It's one girl from every high school.
Oh,
then they pick one girl from California to go to the U.S. state thing.
Who goes to that?
People were like vying for it. They were like,
it sounds like a coveted position.
Like all the big like politicians in the U.S. all went. Like so all the presidents, I think Hillary Clinton went. And I was just like, I'm cool. I'm good over here. I'm going to cheer camp next week. I don't have time for this.
Shit, yeah. Otherwise, my only other camp was horse camp, and that was like when I was really little, because when I was old enough to be like going to like a sleepaway camp, I think I was literally just going and horseback riding every day.
But sadly, I didn't have any boyfriends at camp. We should go back to camp and get boyfriends.
I didn't have any boyfriends, period. What are you talking about?
What about family trips? I feel like your family went on like fancy, like let's go overseas.
Here, we're just gonna put it, I'll do a video on this eventually when I feel like talking to a camera by myself, which is rare. But I always used to joke like when I used to be rich, and it was that we had a lot of money when I was little because my dad had a really good job, I think before I was born. And I don't ever really remember him working. I think he probably lost his job, and it was like they got rid of the entire department. He got laid off. But that was when I was like 4, maybe.
But your parents had you when they were like older in life compared
to
mine,
we were like
children.
Rich, quote unquote. And I never thought I mean, when you're 5, I don't think anyone's really thinking about money anyway. But like, I never thought I was rich, quote unquote, until it was like I was 10 or 12, and I realized like, oh, we used to do that? Like, that was like something that's not normal. So
Go to the airport in limousines.
Yeah, we used to, but it was always, I think, company limousines or something. So it was like always like perks of like random, like, I think my dad would bring us on business. I should ask my mom more about this and clarify. But basically, we didn't do anything crazy. We went to Hawaii a few times, but like before I was 5 years old, so I don't remember. It's not very helpful now.
Yeah.
But I really want to go to Hawaii. Let's do that.
Let's go to summer camp this summer in Hawaii.
They have adult camps.
Do you know that my friend, Tatiana's sister and her husband met at adult summer camp?
That is like, totally where I would
She was
meet
like going down a slide.
Because we're getting like blacked out.
And he was there.
Yeah, because that's what adult summer camp is, by the way. It's like kid camp with alcohol.
And it's like sponsored by Bud Light. Like literally that's how adult summer camp is. It sounds like a dream.
Wait, she met him there?
That's how she met her husband. He was there working and she was there enjoying, and now they're married and
that's
they have
a little
last
different.
a lifetime.
It's like, like to find two people that are just going on this random adult. Regardless,
I think
I'm down.
It sounds like a good time. My family did not do any of those sorts of trips. The only trips we went on were either family related or educational.
But that's, I'm telling you, up until age 5, and then there was nothing.
We go to family reunions.
Tell me about that, because I don't have enough family to reunite with that has ever happened.
So we would go to family reunions literally, I feel like every summer with some different
do you know them all?
Faction of the family. No, not at all. My great grandpa had 20 siblings, I think, like 2 different moms, a baby every year for literally like 20 years. They were not bored. That's what you do when you live in Oklahoma, though, I think. I don't know, Lisa, you're from Oklahoma. Is that what they do? They just have babies? So anyways, we'd go to these family reunions in Oklahoma, and the car would always break down. Always. Something tragic would always happen. We would stay in like the nastiest motels. My mom would like find them in a booklet that she would carry around, and she would like call from a landline and be like, we're coming through Santa Fe, New Mexico tomorrow. And I was like old enough to be like, this is disgusting. And I have to share about it with my sister. We get in kick fights in the middle of the night. Did you ever have that? We would be in the middle of the night sleeping in a bed together, just like fully, like, for people who think girls don't fight, we would like be taking each other down in the middle of the night.
I have a kicking problem. I don't know if I still do. No one
I've shared a bed with you a million times.
And I think I'm fine.
No,
I think as I've aged, I've gotten over it. But when I was little, I used to kick the shit out of my sister. And not like in a like move over kind of way. In a just like, I'd be sleeping and just like,
she like flies out of
she hate me. Also, I feel like it only, this is dumb to say out loud when I just thought about it, but it was like only when I'm sleeping with other people. But I think it's only when I'm sharing a bed with someone else.
Yes.
Sleep talking.
Oh.
That my sister, she would say that I would say some random, and never like something that she'd hear, and it would, nothing makes sense.
Like, Amy, I'm gonna kill you.
No, nothing like that. Because that does happen to some people, that they'll say weird things where it's like, that was creepy. Mine are just like me saying random words that she's like, what? Like, stop talking.
Pepperoni.
Probably not. I don't like pepperoni.
So we'd get to these family reunions, and the ones in Oklahoma would always be held at the same RV/trailer park. and we would pull in. And I remember the one saving grace was it was so fun because I have so many cousins my age, and we would hang out in the pool. But the pool would always be closed for maintenance one day of the week. So you know what we would do? We would walk across the street to the car wash, the self-serve car wash, and just hose each other down. And that was my childhood in a nutshell. Some good food.
Yeah, the only other like. And I wouldn't call them like vacations as much as like we were going to trips to visit my grandma's.
Are they in Florida?
Were. One was, and one was in Ohio.
Oh, okay.
So we went to Ohio and Florida definitely, and Ohio I don't really remember that much. My mom lived in Bryan, Ohio, which is like no one from Ohio has ever heard of it. So that's where my mom was from. Very middle. She'd be like, we used to be able to go to the movies for 25 cents. That's like apparently not like a 90-year-old person thing. That's a 71-year-old person thing.
That is so wild. I can't even imagine.
And then my dad was from Dunedin, Florida. And that's where his mom lived up until she died when I was in like 8th grade maybe. Mm-hmm. But we would only go there during the summer.
So hot. So hot.
And like we're not in Miami. We're not by like... We were by the Gulf, so which was lovely, but hot. Like it's like warm water.
Oh my gosh, speaking of the Gulf, for anyone who lives near Gulf waters, I have something that's going to freak you the F out. I read an article on CNN that says that in areas where people are flushing meth down the toilet, the alligators are eating it, and they have now created these like meth-infused alligators that are going to kill all of us.
That is literally like the plot of like
Every
what
movie
was
ever.
There's a shark. Is it
Sharknado?
Deep Blue Sea. There's one of them where they literally like pump up the shark's brains so they're like super sharks and they go.
But this is an article in CNN.
That's terrifying.
It's absolutely terrifying.
And Florida does have a lot of meth, so.
And a lot of alligators.
Yeah.
A lot of gators. So be safe this summer.
A lot of sinkholes as well.
Well, what about any drums?
The only drums when I think of summer, I think of are like something really stupid that comes up from outdoor ed in 6th grade that we had this hike to the beach that you do. And I don't remember if it was over a guy or if it was just the girls being a bitch, but she told a bunch of people, which they didn't believe, and it was so weird, and like I didn't even talk to her that much. She told everyone that I had poison ivy. It was that I like had walked through poison ivy, trying to get people like not to hang out.
You're dirty. That's crazy.
What about you?
You know how we've talked about that show, Pen 15?
Yes.
Okay, well, I have not watched it, but everything Lily's told me about it, like how when you're like either in late elementary school, middle school, everything is just like, you're
biggest
so moody all the time. Actually, it's definitely still like that. But I will say the most dramatic thing that ever happened to me actually happened on a family vacation. So I was on an educational trip to Washington, D.C. with my family, and we were visiting the National Mall, which, no, for the record, does not have any shopping. It's a mall full of museums.
Also, side note that, of course, your parents that are teachers are bringing on the thought of my mom bringing me on an educational trip, I'm like, what would she educate me about?
So they took us like all through Pennsylvania and the Revolutionary War battlefields, and we went to visit Amish people. So we finally get to the National Mall, and we're going through all the museums, and they take us to the Aerospace Museum, which is really cool. There's like a spaceship inside. I was 10, so my brother, who's your age, was like a little baby, like 2 years old. And then my sister was like 8. So we're all very young, but by the age 10, you have to know, I already thought I should be independent, living in my own condo. I thought I was an adult. So we get inside this museum, which it's summertime, peak summer, peak travel. My parents also are like major stranger danger people. Like my brother was on a leash. You know how people are like, leashes are bad. My parents are like, we don't give a shit. They put my brother on a leash. So he's wearing a leash, and we get in the museum, and I'm like, I'm gonna go check out the spaceship. So I go into the spaceship alone, and then I can't find my family. I'm just alone inside of this museum full of thousands of people. So what do? Do I go find an adult and tell them, hello, sir, hello, ma'am, I am lost, I am 10. I was like, no, I'm on my own, I'm independent, I'm fine. Literally let my parents sweat for a solid hour.
What were you doing?
Just perused about, saw if I could find them. My parents thought I got abducted.
This is the core difference between us. Like, Joslyn gets lost from her parents, she's like walking around, whatever. If I turned around and my mom wasn't there, she left. I've been abandoned. I'm just gonna die because I don't know what else to do. Literally mental breakdown.
So I was too proud at age 10 to even go to, I knew I should go to security and let them know I got lost. I knew I should have told, but I was like, no, I'm gonna be fine. I'll figure it out on my own. So after an hour, I was like, and this has gone on enough. I go to security. By the way, my parents had gone to security immediately and were like, we lost our daughter. And they were like, there's really nothing we can do unless she comes and turns herself in. Because it's huge. These museums are huge. So they were like on the lookout for a girl who would look scared. Meanwhile, I'm just walking through the lounge, reading the signs, enjoying so finally I'm like, oh, this has gone on long enough. My poor parents. We're losing. There's my mom with my brother on the leash.
She's like, come on, Wes.
My sister has never been the same. She thinks one of us is getting abducted at all times. And I was like, what? I was just looking through the museum. It's fine. My poor mom was like crying. I feel bad about it still to this day, but I'm also now frightened for what my future will look like if I have children. Like, what will they put me through?
I've gotten lost in the grocery store and started crying before. The fact that you're just like, oh, whatever, it's fine. Who needs
It's very strange. I had a very inflated view of myself at a very young age. And then once I hit like 22, I was like, I know nothing.
I don't know, because that literally describes like Joslyn doing something wrong and being like, it's fine, I'll just figure it out. It's whatever.
That
doesn't want to admit it.
Led to a lot of failures over the years, but I do think we should go to adult summer camp.
Yes. What if we like held our own adult summer camp and invited our friends?
Let's do it. Will it include back massages?
I hope so. I think it should be like party during the day and then like self-care at night.
I would rather day drink than night drink.
I love day drinking because there's no like rule that's like you have to be out till this. No, you could pass out 3 and everyone's like she partied
like,
really
good
hard.
for you.
Right? Everyone's like, oh, the earlier you pass out, the party you hardy.
The partier you are hardier.
I've only had one beer, I swear.
You guys, I swear. Okay, we're gonna do the lightning round, but we're gonna do it lightning speed.
It's not slow burn.
No, it's not a slow burn. It's the lightning round. Okay, here we go. Only beer or wine forever.
Stupid. Beer.
Coors latte.
Yeah.
Obviously, and I would like to go for like maybe a Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
A nice wine. Okay, do you run hot or cold?
I actually was thinking this earlier, and
you're cold, but you sweat a lot.
Yeah, but my sweating is not temperature related, it's anxiety related. So I would say I run very cold.
You do, same here.
Lisa gets mad at me because I never turn the air on in my car.
Go-to background TV show.
Anything on Hulu. Like any new show where it's like, NBC has this new, is it NBC?
Yeah.
CBS?
Yes,
I don't know.
NBC.
Just recently I've been watching all of Schitt's Creek.
Love Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
Perfect background TV show.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to Joey King on winning or getting an Emmy nomination.
That
for The
wasn't
Act.
background noise.
Not background. I was actually thinking.
Wait, what's
about
yours
that.
though? Friends.
Friends. Definitely Friends. Schitt's Creek, I actually love. I was watching.
And you don't need to watch every episode, which is nice.
Because you can like stay up to date. And then I watch Gilmore Girls constantly, but I've watched it probably 55 times, so I already know the show by heart. Yeah. Pants or no pants at home?
No pants for sleeping, but I wear pants. I just wear sweats.
Just commando.
Oh, I never wear underwear.
Yeah, exactly. I like wearing pants, but like loose fitted pants.
I get home and I like straight into my cozy clothes.
Childhood item you couldn't live without.
I had a lamb chop and his name was Choppy and he was a puppet, so he had like a silk lining and I would like have a weird like scratching it or something. I don't know. But he was great. And then when I was like 7-ish, I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a big girl. And we were visiting, actually I think it was when my grandma passed away. We were going to Florida in the dark. Like, because I'm thinking,
Florida.
No, literally I was thinking like, well, we weren't going on vacations at age 7.
Yes.
So, but we went to Florida and I wanted to bring Choppy, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a big girl and not bring him. Well, we got back and our new golden retriever had chewed him up and Choppy was chopped up all over the backyard.
Wow, that's poetic.
It was really traumatizing.
I'll see if I can find you a new one.
I actually have one, but it wasn't the same.
Never mind.
My mom bought me a new one because I was devastated. She was like, here. And I'm like,
it's not
mine had been like so worn for years. And then this was just like a
gosh.
new one. So I still have it, but like he doesn't have any sentiment value.
Okay.
What was yours?
Oh, mine was, the only thing I can remember is I had like 5 or 6 pacifiers at one time up until I was 2 and then I handed them over. But not really anything.
Especially my 2-year-old Joslyn being like, okay, Dad.
All right, you kids, here you go. 'Cause my parents had me when they were really young. Like my mom was 22 or 23.
You didn't have a stuffed animal or a blanket? Like my sister had
Too
blankets.
busy caring for my siblings. I'm just kidding. No.
My sister had a blanket though that was like multiple tied together. That was just rags by the end.
You know what is really weird now that I think of it? My brother had this like, it was like a cloth diaper, because did you know my mom is like so like slightly like granola, like secretly it didn't use disposable diapers with any of us. She used cloth diapers. Do you know how gnarly that is? Have you ever?
No, but I don't want to know.
You have to like dump the poo from the diapers into the toilet.
Just sounds like a lot of work.
It's really kind of gross. It's very home on the
good for
prairie.
her.
Okay, last thing. Describe your teenage self in 3 words.
Ooh, you first.
Totally happy maniac. I don't know. I was like really like, all I cared about was like getting straight A's, like overachieving, doing this for my college entrance thing, getting the SATs. Dude, I was like honestly so much more stressed out as a teenager than I have ever been in my life. That's why I got acne.
All that comes to mind is
crazy.
Me now. All that comes to mind is that there's a guy that I'm like, I don't know if I'd say we're like pals, but still friends with now. I still know him. That we got like moved seats in math class in 6th grade. Vividly remember this. He sat next to me and we had never met yet, but like had friends that were similar. And I remember he sat down, started talking to me, and then goes, "You're a lot less peppy than I thought you'd be." I just remember, like, this is so like, now I'm like, oh, absolutely. That I was just like, peppy? Like, what the are you talking about kind of situation? Because I think like I looked like I was very like, ooh, straight A's, doing everything. But in reality, I was like,
get me off this island.
Literally all the time. That's get me off this island is me my entire life. 3 words to describe.
I got moved to sit next to a boy who later in 9th grade became my first boyfriend.
I wish this guy would have been. He was hot.
I had just started public school because I had come from my
bougie.
private school. And I sat next to this boy, and he was very cute. He looked like he's like a skater boy. It's spiky hair, wore very loose jeans, which was trendy back then. And he's like, it was like right after summer, so like a lot of kids I grew up with go surfing like all summer. And he's like, hey, do you want some of this? And I remember being like, what a loser, but also like, okay. It was sex wax that they used to like buff out their boards.
What did you
And I was like,
do
is
with
this
it?
a line? I was like, no, thank you. I can't, I'm not allowed. I didn't even know what it was at the time. I was just like, public school is so edgy, but then he was my boyfriend in 9th grade. So it was like
was it edgy for you? Like for me, it wasn't at all.
What,
it was
getting
like
sex wax at school?
No, but like that would be the edgy. It's like
that
they're
sure.
saying sex wax.
No,
but like
saying
no
sex
one's actually
to me was like, oh my gosh, this is what? And then I found out like what was going on at my school. People were like tonguing left and right everywhere, and I was like, this is a lot
really
for me.
Random note to end it on that I'm sure you can relate to when AIM was super popular.
Oh my god.
If you ever were you're ever typing like, yeah, just wait a sec. You accidentally. And it was like, no, I didn't mean to type that. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. It's like not.
I also loved on AIM how you could leave like really moody away messages, like song lyrics, like some sort of poetic statement.
Oh my god, can we do an entire thing on just like the internet before a lot of people were alive? Because AIM profiles.
Oh my god.
My mom was so like, you can't have one, even though I don't.
You're like, I've already had one.
Well, no, but also like they
years.
don't say any. It's not like it gives like your address out.
Right.
It's like writing song lyrics. But if someone was dating someone, they would like put it in like the background color, and the font color would be the same. So you had to highlight it, but it would be like a heart in their boyfriend's name or something at the bottom. But you didn't know unless you highlighted the whole thing.
Wow, you guys, this is what was going on in the 1900s. It's been really fun taking this walk down memory lane, if you will. I
kind of feel like I brought up a lot of things that I'm going to need to deal with. Well, I think that's it for today, Joslyn.
Thank you for sharing.
And thank you for sharing. I'm sorry we're so creepy.
Go away.
Subscribe and watch the next episode. Maybe there will be someone here if you didn't like this test.